Hello and welcome to the Invulnerable stream of tonight's NLC Division 3.3 game, 3.2, I forgot which number it is, but it's the Clash of the Titans tonight. I'm gonna be your host with the most, Aries, and joining me tonight is Kezim, as the names finally appear on screen.
Hello. Excuse me.
But tonight it's the Clash at the top. It's a big one, a cheeky one, as some might say. 7-1 both rosters. Invulnerables Lotus versus I'm not gonna say the Danish name because I can't pronounce it. But it's AaB Esports, just AaB for short. But yeah, tonight we'll decide basically who gets first seed into playoffs because basically both teams are even 7-1. 7-1. I think it's one draw apiece. Neither team have lost. If one team goes 2-0, the other team has to match for the next. Well, they can't match basically because both teams will have one game left. AaB have Hydras, I do believe, and Lotus have Flong. If one of these, let's say Lotus go 2-0 tonight. They have, I believe, they will have the tiebreaker of AaB. I'm not completely sure how that works, but I do believe they'll have the tiebreaker. So if Lotus lost the next game 0-2, and AaB won 2-0, I think Lotus do get first seed. I'm not completely sure on the rules, but in my head that's logical and that should make sense. But yeah, it's a big game, and we're on the mainstream. But yeah, we should also get in and update these introduce these rosters. For Lotus, it's the usual. It's Sanity in the top lane, Slice, Lofty, Lonar, Marcusa, and on the side of AaB, it's Babusban, Bobaz, Scuffed, Plander, and Isaac. Now, I'm gonna have an issue saying Bobaz because it's almost like Boobaz. And I was talking to my friend before this, off stream, and I said, what if I just accidentally yelled out boobas with the steel? Incredible. Horny on mainstream. But yeah, it should be an interesting game. Lotus come into this, I do believe, on a cheeky 3-0-3 win streak right now. I do believe we're on, or like a 3-game win streak. I do believe they 2-0'd Visu Ice 2 days ago, so they're fresh off a win, taking a day break. Come back, we're back at it again. AaB, I'm not sure how their last game went, but I mean they're top of the standings. It's a big game. It's just a big game for this division.
Yeah.
But how's your night been, Kezim? How's your day going?
I have had nothing to do today. It is still not. I hate hot weather, and it is so bad in the UK and Ireland at the minute. It's a little better today.
It is better today. It also is.
It's not nice.
It did rain a bit yesterday and last night.
Okay.
It has been raining on and off today, just a little bit, bit. But it's cool. You can feel it cooling down. As someone did ask game time, the teams are currently drafting off client. We will show the draft on client because it's too much of a hassle to show two drafts, and confuse everyone. But also at the same time tonight, the main roster of Invul are playing. They're playing against Rich Gang. I believe that stream is now live. If you want to open up both streams, it's over at Enix's channel because our second channel did not decide to work. That's why we had a little bit of an extended. We usually would go live at 6. We had a bit of an extension because we were freaking out. And by freaking out, I was just chilling, listening to music. Just letting them deal with it. But yeah, we'll come back to this clash at the top. Basically, whoever gets first seed goes into the upper bracket of playoffs. Whoever gets second seed goes into the lower bracket. So you're basically playing for your double bracket, your double elim life. And I don't know how many teams do get promoted out of Division 3. I will double check that. I asked Kezim, what do you think is going to be drafted tonight? Obviously, I don't know if you know all the players again. But how many... What do you think we're looking at?
I mean, obviously, Seraphine is still, Seraphine. Until next patch, she is still Seraphine. I think to be honest, personal opinion, I think she's a little bit overrated in mid and support. I think she's completely disgusting as ADC, but I think in her other two roles, she's not great. I think she's fine there. But ADC is the one that's really problematic. Obviously, you can see like if you look at win rates, so like a 3% difference between mid support and ADC. But I mean, we're also I'd imagine we get Ornn as well. That's another one that's being picked every game. Wukong as well. I mean, I don't mind Wukong to be honest. Like he's not nice to play against, obviously, but I mean, you know he has to fight basically. Like, it's not like Seraphine where we just have farm till 40 minutes and then just sit on opposite sides of the river throwing everything we have at each other. But I mean, obviously, I don't know most of the players champ pools well enough to be able to just say,
Well, I mean, last
you know,
time we cast together Lotus, Lofty popped off.
yeah.
Slice had a pretty good game. We saw a Draven from Lonar. We saw a Sivir from Lonar, and he was psycho flashing at people, which was fun to watch.
I do think the Sivir is a little bit overrated. To be honest, I think it's good, but I think it's a little bit overrated.
I have seen, I think it was Forest Within tweeting out that he doesn't believe Sivir is as good as people are saying.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
As they are ready for game. We'll get prepared on our end. Which I do understand, but I do believe Sivir is pretty strong, and it's this weird thing. I've played a bit of Sivir myself over the few days, and I think early game she's pretty strong at like trading with her W. If you don't respect it, it does hurt of longer trades and through minion waves and stuff. Like people sit in minion waves, if they're not careful, they will just take a lot. But also, I do believe she's pretty good at taking turrets pretty early because of the W attack speed buff.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's all about getting prio and stuff. But I mean, we'll see. As Lofty's in our chat saying we're not ready for mid pick. I mean, I think I saw it. But which side were we? Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, we don't have to leak yet.
Oh, Jesus. As draft begins in the client, as the client takes a moment to load, as we see a Draven ban.
Respecting the Draven.
Now,
Yeah, there you go. That's another one that's very, very popular.
So, just to let you guys know, the players will pick in their role order, not the draft order. So when stuff is picked, I'll tell you where it was picked in draft. But Lofty's pick's a spicy one. Lofty's pick is a very spicy one, and if he doesn't go well, he's gonna get some.
Blame the draft. You blame the draft.
He's gonna
try something new. It doesn't work. It doesn't matter how you played the game. You blame the draft.
He's gonna get yelled at. I mean, this draft works for what he's picked.
Act the Corky Azir every game. As I say that, Azir is take, and there goes Seraphine as well. I mean, pretty standard bans.
Okay, the Malphite pick was pick 5th on the side of AaB.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna say that better not have been early.
Diana was actually first pick for Invul, so it's gonna be a Viego here. So it was a Viego Diana, and then it was support for Invul. Then it was support AD for the side of AaB. And there's the mid pick that was picked 4th. And the Gnar was picked 3rd. Jesus.
I mean, yeah, obviously, Gnar is extremely strong at the minute. Like, he kind of went a little bit under the radar, I think. He's definitely a lot... I like to think he's a lot better than people make him out to be. Definitely not in solo queue, but in team play for sure, he's really, really strong. Obviously, you have normal Diana, Yasuo. I'd imagine we'll see another Sunfire Diana.
Well, I mean, Gnar is another setup for Yasuo, if I do believe.
Yeah.
His R.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Which, I mean, also, just I'll ask you this just after. I'll ask the point I'm going to make after. But, I mean, that's quite crazy. Well, also, the Malphite picked away. They actually saved AD counter pick on the side of Invul. So they picked Zeri last after they saw Ezreal or Yuumi. Now, and they picked Yasuo blind into with Swain Malphite as the answer. Now, are you a fan of AD counter pick? Because I always thought support counter pick is a lot better. Also, this Yuumi Swain healing is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't like... do you know when the Renata was picked?
2nd.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense then. I mean, I think Renata is really good, but I think she has to be into, like, an engage comp or, like, a low-range comp. And I mean, I don't know because I don't feel like it really makes much sense because Diana wants to jump in, Nara wants to jump in, Yasuo wants to jump in. Obviously, Malphite does too. The Ezreal pick is also a little bit weird. Well, no, the Ezreal pick makes more sense than his teammates, to be honest, because obviously, Ezreal is notorious for being really, really good into dive. And when you have, Diana, Yasuo, Nar, definitely helps a lot. Swain does like teams to be running into him, usually, because obviously with the lack of mobility, it's very hard for him to stick on people until he gets his Rylai's. Viego is obviously, yeah, he could do both ways. He ideally wants to be, playing for a reset, going in and getting a reset, and then continuing from there. And then obviously Malphite ult is literally just dive. But I mean, I don't know. It feels weird because Renata with their team, like with the amount of dive that they have, obviously Renata not. I don't think no, Renata's not great with dive. Honestly, I mean, you rather if you wanted a support that can match this, maybe like I don't know, off the top of my head, like an Alistar, even a Nautilus, maybe
Just
something like
more
this.
more setup. But I think Renata is actually very good here with the fact of her bailout.
Yeah,
I think the bailout itself provides
yeah, the
will,
bailout against Viego will be really, really
and also
difficult to deal
with
with.
her Q, which can peel. And if you play it correct, as my current GIF is of Carrier cleaning his eyes out after a terrible performance on solo queue. Carrier is one of these Renata players, well, one of the best support players in the world. I think he is just one of the best players in the world right now, obviously. But I've seen this man play Renata in such an aggressive, when it first came out, in a very aggressive style in lane. Um, Almost using it like the Q to abuse like lower range ADCs, rather
Mm.
than like using it to self peel and peel like that you would maybe expect, and using it more as an engage tool. Now that's just on his raw mechanics, like he can just hit the skill shot, which is kind of nuts in itself. But I mean, Renata in this situation, obviously you got Ezreal, Yumi. You're not really gonna be able to grab them, but you throw in like a Malphite that dives in on you, or you catch a Swain with a Q and you send him backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
It's always gonna cause issue. Plus, if you connect it, it
Yeah.
does stun.
The drops they do feel a little bit disjointed. Like the just particularly the bot lanes in comparison to like the rest of their team, right? Because you have the like I said, the Yasuo down and Nara who want to be jumping backline usually. Big 5-man down ult, Yasuo ult, and obviously Nara ult as well. But Zeri is, she's not she's okay with dive, but I mean maybe someone like a Kai'Sa might have felt a bit better. I don't know, but I mean, obviously Zeri is just really, really disgusting champion, so it makes sense. But then you have the Renata, who, she can't dive. Her ult isn't good for engage. Her Q can be used to engage, but it's really, really difficult. It feels disjointed from the rest of the team, right? But then if you look at enemy team comp, where you have the Malphite, Swain, and Viego, Renata works really well against those three in particular. And then on top of that, if you look at it like from the same perspective of the of enemy bot lane, Ezreal also doesn't really do what the rest of his team wants to do either,
Yeah, he's a
if
bit.
that makes sense.
Yeah, he pokes.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, the way to play the fight for AaB is if they allow just the Ezreal to hit his skill shots, hit his poke when he hits the 2 item power spike, he will dish out damage. Plus with the Yumi enhanced empowered damage, just boosting his damage itself, he will hurt over time. It's
Mm.
just when you
I'm quite interested to see what he builds,
if
to be
he
honest.
yeah, it's just if he chunks out the correct person, will it cause an engage basically? Because he is him and Yumi the poke, and then it's Viego Malphite Swain to go in. But the problem is if you go in and Diana reverse hits you with the Uno reverse, I'm going in. You got a Yasuo on top of you. You got a Nara on top of you. You've got a Renata coming over the top, and you've got Zeri just running around going hey 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 brr, brr, brr. Like how do you catch the Zeri? Like it is mainly on Malphite to find Zeri.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely gonna be interesting. It's like it's not really, there's a few not as common picks at the moment in there. Obviously, the Malphite isn't, it's not one of those ones that you see very often. Yasuo as well. Yasuo actually going for teleport instead of ignite against Swain. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest.
As we actually have a pause getting into game. So we'll just wait a moment before we switch screens. So chat, you can hear some music. Here's some of the Summoner's Rift sounds. As we wait. Oh, it has been unpaused, and we will, if the camera wants to work, there we go. Oh, again, didn't work. Let's see. Oh no. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
We have the lead client.
Will this fix it? Will this fix it? I fixed it! Let's go!
Okay, everything's fine. Not, it's not to worry.
Now, I knew you had to click it somewhere, but I couldn't remember where. But yeah, are we expecting any level 1s?
No. I want to say. I mean, you could maybe look for something with the Swain here, the Renata Q, but I really doubt it. There's two. I mean, both of these comps are very short range. Obviously,
Yes.
excluding the Ezreal and the Zeri, which I do like. I'm a big fan of that. I love, I love melee comps, like just playing with them, playing against them.
Just brawl it out. Fight it out.
Yeah, a lot nicer than,
I'm gonna poke you 3 screens away. Haha.
Yeah. Like it's, it just makes, at least for me, it makes the game a lot more fun to play.
As we do see a cheeky invade and about 50 pings going down on the map. I think Lofty was spamming those pings. I mean,
I'd imagine so.
I mean, Slice got the early shallow ward down just to ward that normal Raptors ward. That has become a very regular occurrence in League of Legends over the past few seasons. Every jungler just trying to get their wards in. One ward I like to do as a red side jungler is actually running through the banana brush on the river entrance on the top side of the map and warding the wolves. Now it's a bit of a risky ward because I always do it myself in solo queue, but literally no one checks you there.
Yeah.
Because it's solo queue.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of things to notice are obviously Yasuo. The first one was that he went for the TP instead of the Ignite, which obviously alone is a lot less kill pressure than Ignite. But on top of the fact that Swain just has so much healing once he gets his level 6, once he gets his ult up. As well, there is Zeri, who actually went for the Doran's, or is it? I can't remember the name. Doran's Blade, thank you.
Yeah, the Doran's Blade.
Which, I mean, the difference between that, obviously, with the Doran's Blade passive, the 2.5% Omnivamp, I think it is off the top of my head, it's, for the most part, non-existent. It doesn't really do that much. I mean, obviously, a little bit of sustain is nice, but, it's not game-changing. But
he's getting a little trade onto him.
I mean, the other stat that you see a lot of bot laners going is Longsword 3 pots, which Ezreal obviously did.
And he's also gone for Biscus as well.
Yeah, and the difference between those two is that obviously you're going to do a little bit more damage with Longsword with that 2 extra AD, but it's more the fact that you get to have 3 health potions, which, if you look at the 2 items, I think Doran's Blade gives you 80 HP, which, if you're playing into an all-in lane, Doran's Blade will usually be a lot better because you've 80 HP up front. It's
Yeah.
A health pot giving you however much isn't going to help you because the fight will be short if it's an all-in lane. But if you're playing against a poke lane, just for example, an Ezreal Yumi, and I will stop talking.
Zanity just coming in here, just gonna pop the Squire's Bloom and just poke Big Bobbers out. Oh,
Fair enough.
Big Bobbers.
Yeah, he's just getting around the map, trying to be a bit of a nuisance.
I mean, the early lane prio from Invul there, the mid and the top, able to push in, get Slice that early skull crap, and he's full. They both junglers full clearing, and I think Slice is gonna double skull, so he should be ahead in 2 camps almost.
And as I was saying before, when you're playing against a poke lane, and you have this Longsword 3 pot star, a poke lane like, for example, Ezreal Yumi, is essentially, if you're getting 80 HP from Doran's Blade, the Longsword and 3 pots across the entire laning phase, because it's sustained damage, it's poke, it's not, it's not burst, it's not all in, it's giving you an extra 150 HP up until next patch, when it'll be a little bit lower, I think. Which is obviously, it's a lot better against poke lanes. So, I mean, I think it probably would have been a better option, but he did go for the cull early, which, I mean, against this lane when, you don't have kill pressure, neither side really has kill pressure. There's no like reliable CC. There's no engage. Maybe you can play around junglers once this Diana hits level 6. It might be a little bit more difficult for this Ezreal and Yumi, but still, I don't really see anything happening in bot.
But my question about the support is we see the top laners going in. Sanity getting a lot of damage down, but he did miss his W, so he's not going to be able to clean it up. As Lofty as well, getting got a lot of health damage down. My question with the TP on the Yasuo. Now, I assume Invul will look to 1-3-1 because they do have two pretty good side laners. Is there a point where Lofty will just win both side lane matchups?
I mean, the thing is, there isn't many duelists in this game outside of the Yasuo. There isn't that many champions that are particularly good in 1v1s. Obviously, Malphite's a tank. He wants to engage. He wants to appeal for his team. That kind of thing. Viego is obviously better with team
as
fighting.
Viego is actually going to be coming boss side. Bobbers, he's actually going to be caught out with the E, and Slice the whole time I believe is on the Drake. He unfazed, unmoved, flourishing, doing his own thing. We love to see it. As Slice actually jumps out to a pretty big farm lead as well early on in this jungle.
Yeah, I mean obviously both bot and top. Neither of those matchups are really going to struggle at all. Obviously the Yasuo can maybe struggle a little bit, but the Swain is kind of Swain. He's not really a champion until level 6, right? Like he has a little bit of poke, especially against melee champions. Not as much Yasuo because of the amount of mobility Yasuo does have, but he has a little bit of poke. But I think what you probably would want to be doing is getting your passive souls, right? Because you don't really have kill pressure in the lane, so ideally you want to be you want to be farming. He's a 10 CS per minute champ. You want a good amount of souls going into mid and lick in, and team fighting with your ult, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think this Yasuo definitely, if he does choose the side lane with this TP for a majority of the game, will struggle to answer him a little bit, because I think the only people that I can see would be able to just 1v1 him straight up would probably be the Viego, depending on how fed he gets and what items he builds. But even then, sending your jungler into a side lane
is a bad idea.
Yeah. Especially if they're split pushing. If an objective is up, for example, it's really, really difficult to do anything if your jungler is the only one that can answer it, or if you have to send 2 people and the fight's a 4v3 as well.
As we're waiting for Slice to hit 6 now, he is level 5. He's getting a bit close to it. As Bob is just trying to even up the farm differential. Slice still got more to go. As Lana is recalling, so second back for the bot lane, and a quiet early game, an early Drake over to the Invul side. It was an Infernal Drake. We're not going to have Infernal or Ocean Soul this game, which is a bit sad for me, as level 6 comes in for both of the junglers as well, and we'll see where Slice goes with this ult. But one thing I notice about Yasuo, and especially Yone, is when they get their tier 2 boots, I think it's more noticeable on Yone, is the amount of raw damage they can just DPS out, or they could just get out with their auto attack speed and their Q speed. Even also Lofty going for the crit cloak straight up. But we might see an ult here. He's gonna go forward. Lofty's gonna find the ult onto the Swain. The Swain's gonna go out with the ghost, but they're gonna flash and get out. Both teams going forward, but Bobbers is gonna go back in. Lofty's gonna fall for first blood, and it's gonna be first blood over the Swain. And Slice, I think you might just be dead here, my friend. As Bobbers is gonna go in with the Yasuo clone, Yasuo body empowerment.
Yeah, you can see obviously the Viego, he was trying to go in for a stun there, but as soon as the Dana came in with the I think it's called the Moonlight Vigil, they both flashed out of it immediately, and neither of them took damage to it. So obviously a huge part of that Diana Yasuo combo is just gone, and the Yasuo ult was used before Diana got there. So
as we might see a fight for this Drake. Marcusa might be caught out here. There's going to be 4 members. He's just walking in. Lonar's going to be there. Marcusa's not 6, but Lonar's going to ult. He's going to go a bit wilding with his ults. The Smite gone free for Bobbers, but I think he's just going to die. Sanity's here now. Marcusa's very low, but Marcusa's not dead yet. Lofty's appeared and Slice has appeared. Are they just going to walk it out? They lose the Herald. They get 1 kill. But what more do they get? As Sanity did blow his TP to come to the top.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the 1-for-1 along with the Herald it's not really, it's not the end of the world. I think if the Herald can get a lot of progress down, then I think they're fine. Really, it's not really they're not too fussed about it, especially considering the Nara was the one that got the kill when you'd ideally want it on Yasuo, Zeri, or Diana. So I think they'll be fine.
There's also Lofty's build picking Slice. He is on a ward. Plunder playing with fire a little bit, because Slice can't just go in here. Lofty was in the wings, but again, it is warded. But Lofty's build, Executioners into the Zeal.
Yeah, I mean, it could be more of a reminder rush. I'm very surprised, because, I mean, the thing with anti-heals now, though, is it just doesn't do anything until you got the full item. And even then, when you do get the full item, it still
Babu-san
doesn't do
in the
anything.
wings. Lana, you're playing with fire again. Both ADs playing a bit on the edge. Obviously, Lana didn't know until he put that control ward down. But you can see the Ocean Drake getting pinged. Ocean Drake getting pinged. Plunder looking to recall. Zanity doesn't have TP. He might want to stop this recall if he can get it. He's going to stop Plander's recall, but Plander's going to look to all in. And the Yumi ult comes out. The Yumi ult's missed. Plunder trying to crash this wave. And that's going to be an ult down for the Drake. But Slice not here. Zanity's going to flash in. Plunder, he's going to exhaust and flash back out. He might just be able to escape this. Sanity doesn't have flash, but he's going to find the Moonlight Vigil onto 2. And it's actually going to be a double kill for the jungler on Invul.
Yeah, I mean, that's really bad now, because, I mean, Diana, she I assume she backs, and she probably comes back with, you know, however much items. Maybe even Nashers. I don't know if she quite has enough for that yet.
Yeah,
but...
she gets Nashers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she does. Yeah, it's right there. So she is actually going, unless she's going an early Ruby Crystal for some reason, she is going the Sunfire build, which, you know, if you played against it, you'll know what it's like. It's not nice.
Look, you can't kill her, but she doesn't do a lot of damage.
Yeah, the damage is definitely a lot lower, but she still just, you know, she
doesn't
does
die.
do damage.
She doesn't die.
She still does do damage though, because the thing with the Sunfire Aegis, as we can see, Malphite is also going for the same mythic, is that it just does so much damage itself. You know, without any other damage items, it scales with HP. It just does so much damage once you get it stacked, once you get it up. And obviously Diana, who, you know, excuse me, is fine in extended trades, you know, with her passive attack speed and whatnot, definitely makes her extended trades a lot stronger. And she isn't. I thought she might go for something there, but the
doesn't have
good vision
doesn't have ult, so probably can't really find a way. And she probably Slice again, just hovering this top side, not playing around Lofty as you would expect for a Diana player with a Diana Yasuo, but maybe just waiting to find it. Lofty now roaming up. Plunder, he's walking down. There is a ward there, but Slice is going to come out. Slice's flash is almost off cooldown. Oh, the Moonlight Vigil just goes wide. That could have been dangerous for Plunder.
Yeah, I mean, I really do like the Ezreal build, because he is you know, he is going for the, he's not going for Divine Thunder, excuse me, that's the ego, but a lot of Ezreal
Lofty.
Triforce first.
Bobbers is going to ult in, but the Yasuo Q actually hits Plunder. I thought Lofty might have taken that. As the Herald has to be dropped.
What I see a lot of Ezreal's doing is just going straight for Thunder or Triforce are the two big ones, even when it's, you know, not very optimal. So we are seeing the SSV rush, which means, you know, you cannot do Sheen items, so it will be, I assume, either the Prowlers or the Eclipse.
I prefer this build, but going for like your mythic like third item, fourth item is actually really fine. Like finishing the Manamune, then getting your Sera's Grudge for the slot.
Next, yeah,
it's such a nice feeling build. As Bobbus and Isaac sneaking around, but we've seen these top laners matching the ADCs recently. As Plunder has finally just left the top lane, and it's gonna be wait, I can't remember the mid laner's name, but Venta. Players are not using their actual IGN as their name, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, to be honest, but obviously Yasuo did actually go for the Mortal Reminder Rush before Tier 2 boots or anything, which it's a little bit weird. But I mean, that's the thing with anti-heals now, which, I mean, it does make sense to an extent, because before people were just buying the component and, you know, they were sitting on it for a really long time. I don't think Riot liked that for whatever reason. I mean, like, balancing anti-heal has definitely been something they've struggled with this season.
Yeah, I mean, they've put so much healing into the game, and then they've nerfed anti-healing, and then said, why aren't people dying?
Yeah,
it's one of those. But yeah, game Kill's gonna be quiet. Marcusa and Plunder. Oh, Lofty's gonna find the Q onto Plunder, but he's gonna be rooted. Marcusa's gonna be rooted as well. But Plunder is really dead. Plunder might just die here, and Lofty's gonna find the kill. We're gonna be TPing from Babusan. Babusan's gonna ult, but just have to berserker. He hits the Yuumi in the face, but he ulted, and he doesn't get his damage out. Marcusa with a great ult.
You can see he threw out the tornado knowing where the Ezreal would arcane shift into, not where he was.
Okay, Lofty.
Really
As
impressive.
Babusan and Isaac might be collapsed on Lona, Marcusa, Slice. They're all coming from the side. The Moonlight Vigil down. Slice is going to follow in. Babusan trying to get out. Zanity's also coming on the flank. And it's just a flank on a flank on a flank. The cat is running, but the cat cannot escape. And Lona gets scuffed. That's his name. Gets scuffed out with the Q. And that's going to lead into a Herald. And also Drake spawning.
Yeah, I mean, although they did get, bot lane obviously rotating up to mid to come in from the side, Viego is getting a lot in bot lane. Not quite finishing the tower, but he did collect a couple of waves. He got some
There's
gold from
Sanity. Oh, it's going to be taken, but what cost? Scuffed, you might have to ult here, taking a lot of damage from the Gnar.
Yeah, I mean, this Gnar, he just does so much damage. Like, it's really one of those champions that, you see the cute little fellow Yordian Yordle thing, and it's adorable, and then it starts killing you by throwing boomerangs at you.
It starts yelling at you, and you're like, oh, look at the thing, I want to pet it, and then it bites you, and you're like, oh, wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Your neighbor's dog, that they said he doesn't bite, but he does.
What's the dog doing? As we see AaB moving in, to probably get this mid turret. It is very low, and they're actually moving in to get this Drake as well. They're going to take the mid turret. Lofty down on the spot lane, and I don't think Lotus are in a position to answer. Sanity already moving to the top side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Zanti having to go to the top lane to catch the wave. Yasuo having to catch the wave in bot as well, which he did actually get shoved in the end. But it's just, you're not really in a position to go for it when everyone is scattered around the map like that. Although they do have a 2k gold lead. One Drake down now.
I mean, I think it's just their reset timing, right? From the kills on the top side, they take the Drake, take the top side of the jungle. I mean, they take the kills, and then Sanity gets free time on this turret at top. It's one of those where it's like it's only one Drake, no point in just risking it all.
Yeah.
A Slice sneaking around the back here. Plunder, I don't really know if he notices. Slice he's skulking. He is skulking. But Plunder playing it safe.
I might end up eating my words next patch, but I think...
Oh, the ult comes in. Babusan gonna knock up Lofty, and they're not letting you talk. I'm sorry about this, Kezim, as Boves takes the kill.
No, and you can see, obviously, the Yasuo with the Mortal Reminder Rush really is going to struggle against, these go buttons.
And Sanity finds the ult. I was trying to let you finish your point. It's another kill over to Lotus.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, obviously, the Yasuo, he is going for the shield bow now, or that could be Bork, but I'm assuming it's shield bow for the 100% crit. But, obviously, before he gets his shield bow, he can struggle against his burst, against his go buttons, the Malphite ult into the Viego ult. It can be tough for you, because he's not a tanky champion. He's not tanky, he's not necessarily even, he's very, very squishy up until he gets the shield bow, gets the death, if I can speak, gets the death stance as well, eventually.
This is a big trade for Lotus. They lose 1 kill and 1 tower on the bot side. They take tier 2 top and tier 1 mid, which is actually quite huge for them.
Yeah, you can see now this. I was a little bit worried at the start of the game that if the Viego gets ahead, a Viego with a Yuumi on its back, especially with these champions, like Diana, Zeri, Yasuo, who can really do a lot without their ultimate, and like the kind of things that Viego wouldn't mind stealing. I was definitely worried that Viego would if he got ahead, it would be a big problem. But you can see now with that tier 1 gone in mid, the whole jungle is now just open, and Viego's really, really going to struggle to keep up with this Diana, keep his resources.
As Babusan
it's so difficult.
It's going to try stopping the back, not going to get it. Unfortunate.
That was a frustrated slap on the ground.
I've seen those where like they hit the ground and the comet goes all the way to the base, and you just recall and the comet hits you, and you're like, wait, what? Where did that come from?
Yeah, I think my favorite one is Warwick Q. Because obviously when you hold the Q, it follows dashes.
Oh yeah.
So he ends up in base. I've seen a few clips. I've had it happen to a few friends where he just ends up in base. And is the stream frozen for you, or is it just me?
No, they did just pause. It did say in chat there was just a pause,
okay.
unpause. But I'm not sure. That might have just fixed it. I've seen some pings come down. We'll see. Obviously, you do get the pause lag, pause delay, but there was no pause on our screen, so it was a bit weird.
I mean, obviously you can see Diana now at 10 Dark Seal stacks. All of her kills have been she's had this Dark Seal for all of her kills. Excuse me.
There we go. The open pause came through again. A Slice, he might have just been caught here. Boba's looking, gonna flash stun the Malphite. Oh, and a perfect flash from Slice. Oh!
Yeah, and I mean, he just about managed to get out of the Viego W
Oh,
before
hello!
the force landed.
Slice is fighting the Malphite, and Sanity is fighting Bobas in the jungle. Jungler versus top lane action.
And yeah, I mean, obviously, I think Diana has a little bit more options when it comes to engage than the Viego does, so I think the flash for flash isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Oh no. Oh no, oh no. That's a tanky Malphite just getting shredded to pieces.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously this Nara...
Marcusa! He's gonna flash out, he's gonna ult, and he might have just saved himself. The Berserk comes through. The Yuumi, the Subwatch, he should just fall here. Lana, I don't know if you can fight this. There is no Yuumi ult, there is no Ezreal ult. The Viego is going to go wide, Lofty's going to miss the Q. Lana's going to go over the wall, and the Viego is going to go wide. They're looking for Lana, but they can't find him. Lofty with a double man ult. And that's planned dead. I think Ezek might just fall as well. Can he get the W off? No, he can't. Lana is kiting as much as he can.
God, you can see this Zeri movement speed. It's really just so difficult to catch up with her, even after the nerfs.
I mean, that's ult and Ghost.
Yeah,
and like, of course you're not catching
it's really crazy.
A movement speed jacked Zeri with a gun.
I mean, yeah, it's just so difficult to catch up with. It's so difficult to keep it close by if you don't kill it at the start.
And it's
Let's see, Diana on 2 items now. 3 items, excuse me. Did pick up the metas.
A Nymera will be happy with this purchase.
Yeah.
As Slice looking mid again, Babasan, I think you might just fall here. Moonlight Vigil, yeah. Oh, he's gonna get out, but Slice gonna follow it, and he's gonna hit it with the Q. Slice is playing.
He needed to use the flash there.
Slice is playing out of his mind this game. He is having a very good series. As Bobas getting zoned by a Gnar, goes into mini. Bobas trying to get it out. Lofty and Bobas fighting. Lofty, the ult comes in. There's no Moonlight Vigil, and they're just fighting over. Bobas is going to fall to the Diana. And Slice is just not falling. Swain ult comes through. Oh, and the bailout comes as well. And Plunder, the Yuumi ult, Roos Slice, we know, you're not taking any damage. And that's a 2...
You can see now, that's another 900 plus gold onto this Diana, along with 12 more Magi stacks.
22 stacks!
Oh...
9 kills.
Not going to be able to deal with it. I think. Well, I don't mean to give it Caster's Curse, but I think this game is looking somewhat decided at this point.
Well, I mean, the Malphite, his job is to be frontline, and you can see they're just tearing through him, and the Black Cleaver coming through for Sanity as well. You're not gonna survive much longer, my friend. Also, stacking armor into a Diana. I know it's shield bow, but that's a 22 dark 22 Magi's.
Yeah, I mean, as well, you have Renata, who did end up going for the Shirelias on top of the Zeri having Phantom Dancer as well. There's no way anyone's going to be able to catch her.
That's called Zoomies on steroids.
Yeah. It's really just going to be... Like, there really just isn't anything that's able to lock down the Zeri. She's too much range. She's too much... You know, too much speed. Maybe the Malphite, but the dash can get her away from that. You know, there's no point and click CC. There's no Pantheon W. You know, nothing like that. There's nothing that can just, you know, stop where you are.
I will say there is a positive for the side of AaB, and that's that they took 2 early Drakes. A Slice, I think he's going to find a Moonlight Vigil. Lofty's coming over the top, and oh my god, that damage. Your healing is not enough.
You can see with the Moonlight resets onto her dash, it's just so difficult to get away from her, even though she's a melee.
25. Plus 3 stacks. 25. As Sanity's going to jump over Plander's head. Little bonk on the head. And he's going to flash over the wall. Can he find him? He's going to get damaged. Oh, the tornado just goes wide. But they're all chasing. They're all here. Run, 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 AaB. Lotus are coming for you. And that's one. Isaac going to go to Babisan. I think Babisan should just be able to get his little cat out of there. And it's going to be another kill for Lotus. But they are on the wrong side of the map. They're not going to be able to go for Nasha just yet. But they're going to take that mid-tier 2. And maybe move to Nasha now.
it does come back to what I said a few minutes ago. It's just, once you lose that mid tower, even if you do get a good trade for it, you just lose so much custody of the map. It's so difficult to do anything, even inside your own jungle. Especially when you have this Diana just running around. She really just does not have limits when it comes to mobility. Obviously because of how often she can use that E. Just makes it so difficult to play against.
Bobas is on the side. They don't know where exactly he is. Babisan and Scuffed are here. Bobas is going to come in now. They're alwa's going to come onto 3. But Slice is going to clean it up. Moonlight Vigil onto 2. And that should just be the game. Everyone's falling on the side of AaB. And I think Scuffed, he's healing, but he's not taking healing enough. Oh, that's a big heal come through. I think that was Yuumi healing. Lana falls, but it's not going to be enough.
And the cat is punted into a wall. The poor kitten.
We don't like animal abuse at Invul Esports, but we do like Yuumi abuse.
I don't think there's anyone who doesn't like Yuumi abuse.
That should... I mean, they haven't reset in a while. They must be sitting on a lot of gold right now. They're going to get this in here. Will they look to end? I don't think it's... I think it's a little bit too soon for them.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the gold lead now up to 11.2 thousand, I think. 11.1 thousand, excuse me. It's just... that's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just so difficult to do anything. This Diana is just so strong. The Yasuo has so much follow-up, so much engage from the Nara. They can't catch the Zeri. There's really just nothing they can do.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, not to cast a curse, but I do believe this game will be over. So we can kind of put our eyes onto game 2. If this game doesn't... Now, the thing is a Lotus. They will send it to 65 minutes because memes. They have a guy in the mid lane that loves to troll me. So I wouldn't put it past them to do it, but they are taking the steps. They've got that mid inhib. They've got Sanity pushing in the top wave, or catching that top wave. Lofty and the three amigos running bot side. Lana just hovering that way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just because when you've one champion that's doing one kind of damage and the other 4 doing the other type, it really it can be difficult to itemize because you need this armor. There's 4 AD champs in this team. You have to get this armor.
Is Sanity gonna go for this 1v1? He's gonna go after Scuffed. He's gonna ult him, not get the stun into the wall, but get the stuns from W. He's gonna force the Swain ult out. Bobas is on his way. He will win it now, but I think Sanity, he's just gonna jump back 1. The Ghost is gonna come through. Can he get out? He's gonna get ruined by the Q. The Viego all misses, but they're gonna get the shutdown.
I mean, you're ahead and you're a Nara. You just don't need the kill. The jungler is off the map. There's no need. Really, just no need to go for that. But I think this is. If it's ever going to be a way that AaB can get back into this game, it's going to be
a throw. It's going to be a throw.
It's going to be silly mistakes.
It's going to be the Lotus special delivery service. Here's your win.
Yeah, and I mean, but to be fair, I like I said, it's never impossible because I've seen games won with bigger goal deficits than this. On top of the fact that all it takes is one good fight from Viego, and it's resets upon resets upon resets. And especially with the amount of healing Swain has, even when he isn't, too far ahead, he is still strong. So I mean, it's definitely possible. That's the most I can say about it. I can't give it any more than that.
But when you're looking at that play, maybe Sanity is okay giving his life there. Obviously, he is a 600 gold shutdown onto the Viego, which is not too good, but he does secure the Drake, and they did get bot tier 2.
Yeah.
So they got the cross map trade is probably better because they put themselves onto Soul Point. They lose 600 gold and they're top tier 1, which is like one of those towers at this point in the game where it's like, okay, if you lose it, it's fine. It's standing gold, but it's not worth as much as a tier 2.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those where it's like, okay, good trade, fine. As the boss would say, good death.
Good death.
Good death.
For sure. I mean, all they can really do is they just keep clearing. But they do have, some level of wave clear. Maybe not as much as they might like. But
they're gonna look for Slice here. The Alpha comes in, Babisan going straight onto Slice, but they're all stacking up. The Moonlight Vigil comes in. That's a 3-man ultimate, and Lofty's just starting to clean up this fight. Sanity's here. Mega Gnar. Slice is still alive, and Plunder just gets a brick to the face. Actually, I think it was a rocket ship. And Sanity's going crazy. He punches the cat into the dirt, and Lana finishes off Scuffed.
That was just going to be the end of the game. I mean, you can see, obviously, this Diana, she gets caught out, but She has Sunfire Aegis. It does not matter. She has Sunfire Aegis. She has Zhonya's. You can't catch her out. If you catch out of Diana building these items, no, you didn't. And then they all just fall to the counter engage. And
that's going to be Lotus going 1-0 up in the series, or the clash at the top. Now, Lotus do take priority for first seed right now, as we stand. They have to finish out the series 2-0 to secure first seed. So, they still need to finish the game. Finish the next game well. But, very good showing from them, especially from the man in the jungle. Big slice.
Yeah, very well played from him.
Finishing with 24k damage as well, Jesus. But yeah, I mean, we'll send it to a break. We'll be back with game 2 of this series. Can AaB pull it back and send it to a draw? Because that's the best they can do right now. Or will Lotus go on and secure first seed for the NLC Division 3 playoffs? Don't go anywhere. We've probably got a banger song. I'm not sure what song's lined up, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.